Elliotte Friedman, Hockey Night in Canada. Forgive me, Friedge. I didn't know you were there. How you doing, Friedge? How was the weekend? How was Thanksgiving? How was the food?
It was good. I'm just looking. The Canadiens just sent out a tweet that they just signed Brendan Gallagher 6 years, 6.5. I actually have to laugh at this.
There's a few reasons why. Why? What's the main reason why you're laughing at this?
Well, I wonder, those people who wrote about it, do we get 5%?
She got more than that, Friedge. She got more than that. Wow.
So how did this go from? We'll get to Bill Foley in a second. This Gallagher thing was really interesting because it seemed like there was a falling out of favor of sorts near the end of the year, and then these rumblings, and then people in Vancouver are like, "Hey, send them home. We'll take them." It very quickly went from, "Hey, is there any fire where the smoke is?" to 6 years, $6.5 million.
Well, I got to tell you, Gallagher, he played this one right.
Mm-hmm.
Look, the talks yesterday, we heard the talks were off, and I heard the offer was similar, like the one that Josh Anderson signed, 7 times 5.5. And, he was mad. I'm not, none of us were making this up. He was upset. And then a day later, they've got a deal. And I got to tell you, I just think it's really funny. I do. This is a crazy business. And, I got to give his agent credit, Jerry Johansson. He dialed up the pressure. He boiled the water, and it worked. It worked.
And Marc Bergevin heard the whistle of the boiling water.
Yes.
Well, Friedge, this is interesting. We all really anticipated this offseason Brendan Gallagher getting more money than Taylor Hall. I'm not surprised by this at all. I think this is the way it was supposed to go the entire time. I'm being sarcastic, obviously.
Not per year.
No, not per year. And I'm looking at the cap next year, Friedge. It doesn't, Thomas Tatar's up. Philip Deneau's up. Jake Allen could be taken in an expansion draft. You never know. It doesn't seem to handcuff him that much going forward, does it?
No, he's got his team pretty much. The one thing that he did was, there's no question that they're going to spend, with Price and Allen there, assuming Allen doesn't get claimed in the expansion draft, because that's going to be part of it here. They're going to spend $13 million and $13.5 million on the goaltending position, and that's a big number. That could be a challenge. But the one thing that Bergevin has done is he has locked in a lot of his key guys at positions he wanted them. He wanted another left shot defenseman. He got Edmondson. He locked him in. He wanted Anderson. He got him. He locked him in. Gallagher, I guess he wanted him at a certain number. Like I said, as I wrote today in the blog, I heard the number they were talking about with Gallagher. The contract was very similar to the one that Anderson got, and it's 1 year less, and it's $1 million a season more. So now he's locked in. The only guy they don't have locked in yet, who's a key part of the future, you'd think potentially, is Deneau. And they've tried to do that. So far, they haven't got it done. Now they still got to get Kotkaniemi done, and they're still going to have to get Suzuki done. And both those guys are getting better. But a lot of the other key players on that team are locked in.
Good for Brendan Gallagher getting $6.5 million per year. I'm not sure how many people thought it was going to be that high over 6 years, but good for him to get that.
You know what it reminds me a lot of, actually, is the PK Subban one, where, Subban went to arbitration, and before they went into the arbitration hearing, they made him an offer. I think it was 8 times 8. I can't remember. I have it written down. And he said no. And then they went through with the hearing, and before the verdict came down, he had that big 8 times 9 extension. Right. And Montreal came back and said, let's get this done. It reminds me a lot of that.